Not confirmed yet, no.
Questions in English, please? Raise your hand.
Looked to me like you played your normal spectacular first set and then started living on your second serve in the second set.
It's a good explanation maybe. I think I definitely played great in the first set. Came out and really saw the ball well. I think Jack didn't have his best first set, but I found a way to take advantage of that quickly. Hardly made any mistakes and was able to press. And the second set was more like what I expected the first set to be quite honest, before the match. I thought it was going to be hard to break. It was hard to return well of Jack's heavy serve, and then just maybe see if there was an opening, and that never really came. And I maybe dropped my level just a bit as well as he lifted his. And then in the second set, like you said, I had to rely a lot on my second serve. I'm happy it was there because I didn't serve particularly well in that second set, so things got a bit more complicated, but it's definitely a good feeling to get through in 2 sets and to be back in another finals here.
Roger, looking ahead to Stan, what makes him such a good matchup for you, especially on hard?
Well, I'm not sure if it's a good matchup. I mean, I have maybe a good head-to-head, and a lot of those matches, or a few of those matches, come early when I was the overwhelming favorite, when I was maybe still world #1 and he was 30 in the world, and his game was based heavily on the clay courts, so snuck in a lot of victories there maybe in the beginning. In recent times I thought we played a lot of close matches, and he was also able to dominate me over a set or 2 sets maybe. On the faster courts, maybe Wimbledon, maybe in other places here as well, indoors as well, he's done it. So I don't see it per se as a huge advantage. I think he's cleaned up his game real nice on the faster courts. He's the reigning US Open champ, and he's back in his first American tournament. He's back playing, so it shows that wasn't a surprise, that he won the US Open. And I think he does a really nice job of, defending and then going from defense to offense, and he's improved his serve, and especially as he goes deeper in the tournament, confidence builds, and that's when he's harder to stop. But, I have variation, I have an offensive mindset that's in my DNA, and that's then sometimes, for a player like Stan, he likes to have a bit more time, and I can maybe rush him, but we'll see if that's possible tomorrow.
But do you already know what will be your schedule on clay, and will the ranking maybe change a bit things because you're having such a great start of the season that the ranking could be maybe sooner or quicker as good as you wanted to?
I don't know what my clay court schedule is until after Miami. That will stay this way regardless of how this tournament goes. At Miami for the time being, rankings are completely secondary to me, so if I take a decision after Miami, it's basically of looking ahead, how can I remain healthy, and how can I keep the fire and the motivation for the tournaments that I be playing. What I don't want to do is overplay and just get tired of traveling and tired of just playing tournaments and just entering and, I don't know, just doing people a favor just to be there, but with no aspirations. That's not why I'm playing. I want to play for, if people see me, that they see the real me, and a guy who's so excited that he's there. So that's a promise I made to myself, that if I play tournaments, that's how my mindset has to be and will be. We'll see after Miami.
Having said that, Roger, it was a rankings follow-up question. Andy Murray's missing Miami, which you may or may not.
Yeah, I'm surprised to hear that.
And Novak is back in Monte Carlo also with an injury problem here. I just wonder, given the way you're playing, whether you think you have a shot at being world #1 by the end of the year.
Well, because I'm not going to be playing so much, you know, you would think that I would need to win and probably another Grand Slam for that to happen. So because I have one in the bag, I guess there is a possibility, you know. Plus, I'm playing well here again, away from the Grand Slams. But the Grand Slams give so many points that that's probably where I would have to make a huge run again. And maybe one's not enough as well, because they will pick up their level of play. They will pick up, you know, their game, and they're going to win tournaments again. So for me, just because Novak might not play Miami and Andy's not, and I'm in the finals here, it doesn't change anything in my scheduling. Yeah, the faraway place, sure, I would love to be world number one again. But anything else other than world number one for me is not interesting. So that's why the rankings is not a priority right now. It's totally just about being healthy, enjoying the tournaments that I'm playing, and trying to win those.
Obviously, you've known Stan for a long, long time. Could you take a minute and go back to the very beginning when you first met him years ago, what your first recollections were? And
Yeah, we played, I remember we practiced in Biel at the National Tennis Center. I've hardly heard of Stan, and they said there was this good junior from Lausanne who's happy to come and hit with you. Sure, it's great. You know, he used to play from really far back, powerful backhand. I was surprised how easy he was actually able to just hang with me, because I think I might have been world number one at the time even already. So we didn't meet until sort of later on, because I think he was staying in Spain as well, and he was doing his own private thing. So I really had heard very little about him, and didn't see him very much or never. So I was very impressed very quickly, and then of course he came to Davis Cup, to the semis with us as a team in 2003 to Melbourne. We went there like for 2 weeks. That was a cool time because we were like 8 players instead of just 4. We took 8 along, and Stan was one of the guys who could come along. So I got to know Stan more and more through Davis Cup, and yeah, we always got along very well. And you know, I'm mighty impressed how he's been able to make his game grow, because I thought he will be forever just a clay court guy, but because of the mandatory plays you have to play on in the Masters 1000s and all the hard courts and so forth, you actually will never see anymore just a true clay courter. You have to be able to play on hard courts, and he showed how it can be done, and through hard work what's possible. And I'm his number one fan when it comes to his success and how he's been able to do it, because we work with the same fitness coach for many years now. So I know a lot what's going on in Stan's life, and he knows a lot what's happening with me, and we always support one another. So so that was my beginning of Stan, just seeing him evolve and grow, and I was giving him a lot of advice until the time came where basically he needs no more advice, because he's his own man now and he knows what he's doing, and which is a great evolution for him.
You began this tournament obviously in one of the most difficult draws in recent memory, and now you're through to the finals without dropping a set, and if I'm not mistaken, maybe not even dropping a serve. How does it feel to have been so efficient here? Have you exceeded even your own expectations?
Yes, I have, and I feel great. So yeah, I forgot about how tough the draw actually was. I definitely got lucky in the quarters against Kyrgios, not having to play against him, because he was clearly playing very well. Then again, I took care of my section of the draw with Steve Johnson, and then also especially with Rafa, put myself in the position to be in the quarters and see who comes through on the other section. It was Delpo and Novak and Nick and Zverev. So yeah, look, sometimes you get lucky when you put yourself out there. I did, and then I was able to keep going today, which I'm very happy about. Next thing you know, from looking at that section of the draw as like a mountain to climb, next thing you know is you're in the finals and flying. So it's very fascinating how quick things can turn your way if you play well and you believe and you're having a good time. So I'm very pleased, and I hope I can play one more good match tomorrow.
English. Tomorrow you will play in the final, and you've already won 89 tournaments. I was wondering, is the 100 wins mark or the 109 Connor's record anywhere on your radar in terms of your legacy and the record that you want to achieve?
I mean, not really. it's not a goal of mine per se to play as long until I reach 100, let's say, or something like that. It could be, you know, it's a nice goal to have, but I think I'm still too early, you know, after the comeback. You know, I was just happy to be feeling healthy again at the end of last year. So when I set myself the goals was to play, you know, through Miami and see how I feel sort of 3-4 months into the season. So I couldn't think of, you know, reaching 100 titles. I was just happy to be playing another 10 events maybe. So here I am going strong now, and I reached 89, so clearly I could reach 90 tomorrow. That'd be already a huge milestone for me and my team. But you know, that stuff can change. Well, ask me again in 3 to 6 months, you know, how I'm feeling, if I won any more or not. But things are going very well right now.
I will.
Yeah, thank you.
Last one, great.
Roger, I've asked a couple of players about the mental side of the game and if it's born in you or if you can learn it. If there are moments when things are going a little bit shaky on the mental side as far as yourself and generally on that topic, what are your thoughts? What would you do, and do you think it's born or you can learn it, the mental strength?
I mean, I think there's definitely players who it is easier for to play on the big stage and playing against the best players. So you have that side. Then you have the other side, guys who just, for them practice is super easy. So you have those guys. And then you have the guys who, doesn't matter what tournament it is, what round it is, they just get it done, you know, they have always the same mindset, the same intensity. Whereas the other guy who's maybe the big match player, he struggles then to play on the outside courts. He might struggle in practice, and he struggles on different continents or in different places or when he's not at home. So I believe everybody's born with some strength. Where? Only the player knows. And then the rest you have to work at it, because there is always a big percentage that doesn't come naturally, and you have to find your way and find your confidence, if you like. And you have to make your experience. You know, at the end of the day, you have to, and only then you become a complete player. That's why players need time in the beginning.
Thanks very much. Swiss press up front.
Thank you.